Hi, today we're going to tear down a Honda Pilot 2012 to do its 100,000 mile timing component replacement. So we jacked it up, took off the right front wheel, and now we're taking off the wheel well cover, which is a complicated piece with a bunch of wheel panel fasteners, screws of different lengths. They're underneath the front. It's just amazing how many fasteners there are, how many different sizes and lengths. Better label them if you hope to put them back in the right place.
10 millimeter.
Okay, don't forget to disconnect the battery and then we can really dig into this job. The powertrain control module happens to be right above the front engine mount, which must come out. So there are 4 10 millimeter bolts on this. The only one that's really difficult to get at is underneath here, underneath the unit. You can't see it in this view, but you'll see where it is when I take this cover off, this PCM cover. Just got a couple of snaps in here and then it pulls out. And you'll be able to see underneath when I pull out these connectors, the 3 harnesses that come into the PCM. Underneath there is that 10 millimeter bolt that has to come off with either an extension socket or a wrench.
I had to cut this strap. They had strapped one of the harnesses underneath there. So that was the last thing holding this on. Right there. Okay, now I can take this 10 millimeter bolt off holding this bracket. I believe that holds the wiring here. Okay, then lift this one up and separate it. Okay, now we can feed this harness up and out of the way a bit. Move it over up this way. Like so.
Make sure you support the engine prior to taking that front engine mount out. Okay, now we're going to remove those 3 17 millimeter bolts holding the engine mount to the frame here. And a couple of them are underneath slightly. They aren't straight in, so you need a wobble socket or a universal maybe to get them to snap out of there. Then there's just 2 14 millimeter that attach that engine mount to the bracket that's bolted to the engine. So take those 2 out.
Alright, up comes the mount. Okay, 14 millimeter on the Serpentine. And just put down and slip it off. Okay, so turn these little locking devices, plastic locking devices, there's 2 of them, and snap off the cover here. I'll pinch off the line temporarily. Got some rags in there as well. So when we pull this off, hopefully we don't have chaos, and I'm prepared to try to seal this up a little bit. Let's see what we have for drippage out of here. Okay, it's not too bad. Now what I'm doing is I'm putting a little bag on there and a rubber band. See if this will work. Don't know why it wouldn't. Okay, now we take this off. Looks like we're going to stay in there. And my rag soaked up the little bit that came out of here. We'll seal this up too so we don't get contaminants in there. So I slipped the bottle off its little holder here, off its mounting. Pulled it off of there and set it over here. Kept the mess down here too. Little rubber band and sandwich bag trick. Now we can take the pump off. 12 millimeter. Okay, so here's one of the 12 millimeters from the pump. easy schmeezy to get loose. The other one I think is a little more hidden. And down here, you can see my tool there. It's about as good a view as I can get of it. Straight in with just a 3-inch or 3-inch extension. It's a wobble extension. Okay, we're able to get it past there. Tighter squeeze than I'd like. You know, we're working on the idler pulley. It's 14 millimeter on there. So right here is the 12 millimeter bolt that needs to come out to remove the tensioner pulley assembly. Now break out your 10 millimeter equipment. Take out the 2 top timing covers. These are both. There's 5 of them on each one. Just find the 5 hex bolts and pull them out on each side. There's a recessed one here. Down in the corner over here, this was the one that the pulley was in the way of, requiring that to come out. Left and right. This one's missing a bolt. And remember this wireway that's built into that one on the left. Okay, we're going to crank it now by hand in the top dead center position to where the both of these timing marks are lined up on each one of the cams with the little notches that are in the on the engine. Yeah, there's the one on the radiator side.
And there are the marks on the firewall side. And here's the timing position. You can see the Honda painted it kind of a brown color on the sprocket, so line that up with the mark on the engine. And it's in position. And you're going to need this holding tool, this 50 millimeter tool that fits in Honda's slot on the harmonic balancer, along with a ratchet, and you'll need to get it into a spot, kind of jam it in there, and hand crank it.
Okay, there's where we have it now. Let me show you down here. Got it on a block of wood.
Didn't really go in. I'm out of room.
You're already out of room?
We ran out of turning radius that way pretty quick, so now we're sitting on a jack stand with some extensions to reach all the way outside the wheel well, and we're going to give this a go. So now we've added a pipe 3 feet long, 1 inch in diameter, to give us even more mechanical advantage.
Unbelievable. Has to be like 1,000 pounds of force right there.
No kidding, you don't have to do much.
Nope, it slipped off.
When it gave way, it was all at once. My jack stand fell, I fell. Now this bolt doesn't show any rust. So by getting one behind here, and then jiggling with another one, it's pretty much loose.
You saw this little washer fly out. Make sure the domed or convex side is toward the belt.
Next is the lower timing belt cover. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And there's several up there that you can't see from here. Take those out. Okay, now this mounting bracket can come off. I already started on it. It's 314 millimeter and the 10 here.
Okay, that concludes part 1. We've gotten it disassembled now right down to the timing components. We'll take those off in the next part. And the timing mark on the crank sprocket and the little tick mark on the engine are lined up. So there they are, all laid out in order, the same way they're going to be put back in. Stay tuned for part 2, and I'll throw up a link as we take out the old timing components and replace them.